Man, that's a long minute. Been 4:59 forever.
I thought you were saying putting signs
I need to
in the
put sign.
street.
No.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It is 5:15 on March 16th, 2026. Time to call the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order.
I think it's 5 o'clock, sir. It's
Didn't I
5
say that?
o'clock. You said 5:15. Don't wish your life away. We're having fun.
It's 5 o'clock,
Yes.
March 16th,
Somewhere in Central
Somewhere it's
Europe.
5 o'clock.
2026. Time to call the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order. Ms. Jones, roll call, please.
Mayor Barnett,
Present.
Mr. Austin.
Here.
Ms. Joe,
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Please stand for the pledge. All right. Is there any announcements or public comment that does not pertain to the agenda? Hearing none, we will go on to the consent agenda.
Move to approve the meeting minutes from March 2nd, Board of Works minutes, or Board of Works meeting, and also the approval of claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that gets us in, all those in favor by saying aye. We said aye. Anybody opposed by saying aye? No opposed. We go on to old business. Request approval for amended Resolution 2026-02, authorizing use of Lowe's credit card for DPW Clerk Treasurer Jan Jones.
This was introduced at the last meeting for a credit card for the wastewater treatment plant, and the only thing that we did was change who could use the card. So we changed from just 2 to 3 administrators to making it a sign-out sheet, like all the other departments, to make it consistent throughout the city. So the wording on it has just changed, making it though that the DPW superintendents are still responsible for monitoring all purchases and authorizing that they're legitimate city use.
If you recall, last time we wanted to, or I suggested we designate who specifically could do it. After the meeting was over, and you approved 2 names, after the meeting was over, Jan and Sally both said that may be problematic in terms of how we use it, because it's kind of sometimes an emergency situation if they're out in the field, and so long as it's under the supervision and the department chair remains responsible for it. It was a good point, so I suggested maybe bringing it back to you, but you did give specific names, and then just have this, the department superintendent will keep a list of who's authorized, understanding that ultimately the buck stops with her if somebody uses it inappropriately. So I thought it was a good point.
I'll move to approve the amended Resolution 2026-02, authorizing the use of the Lowe's credit card for the Department of Public Works.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll go into new business. Approval of invoice for the Franklin Owner Occupied Program, Rehab Program, and approval of the Franklin Owner Occupied Rehab Homeowners Form. Whitney Cooling. There you go.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I don't have much of a project update. There's about, I think we have 14 participants so far in this program, and we have about $100,000 left for construction. So in front of you are some invoices that I received from some work that was started in December, and I don't know if you remember when it was snowing, and now it is snowing again today. So we have caught up on some work here, and then I have 2 additional approval forms for some new participants. We have 2 for your approval tonight, and then we have about 4 to 6 who are working on other paperwork, so we are on schedule.
Okay, Whitney, do you see that we're going to use, you say there's about 100,000 left? Are we going to use all that, you think?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
Absolutely.
Whitney, if you get on the agenda and it snows, would you mind not coming?
I'll stay home, I
Thank you.
promise.
Maybe attend by Zoom. Keep it-
Yes. But I'm happy to answer any questions from the board or department heads.
I don't have any questions. I just want to thank you for all the work you're doing to,
Yes.
it means something, so thank you.
Yes, thank you for your contribution, and thank you to Krista, Dana, Lynn, everybody who's been a part of setting this program up. I spoke to some homeowners a couple weeks ago, and they're all absolutely happy and thrilled and love it. So thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the invoices as presented for the Franklin Owner Occupied Residential Program and approval of the Franklin homeowner forms.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Whitney. Next item, street closings for the 2026 Franklin Parks and Recs event. The Festival Country Kickoff, Cruising the Amp, Firecracker Festival, and the Fall Festival. Director of Parks and Recreation, Chip Horner.
Thanks, Mayor. There are 4 maps attached. Tara already has them up on the screen. Mainly, it's the first one is the Festival Country Kickoff, which I'll talk about more as we get closer, but that's an event that has 3 bands that night. So be a pretty cool event. We're just asking to have Jackson Street closed on that one. Next one would be the cruise-in for the cars. That's Jackson Street and West Court Street that we use for overflow. It depends on obviously how many cars we have show up for that car show. The next one's the Firecracker Festival. That's mainly just Jackson Street that we have closed during that event. And then the Fall Festival, we do Jackson Street and then up to West Court Street for vendors. And none of those have changed from last year. So they're all the same.
Chip, could you ask Holly when we use West Court Street? I think she does this automatically, but make sure just advise the county because
Yeah.
they do use a lot of that parking lot.
Yeah, she attends the commissioners' meeting
Yeah.
and lets them know, yeah.
Okay, any questions for Chip?
I have none.
I'll make a motion to approve the street closings for the 2026 Franklin Parks and Recreation events as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next item, request approval of agreement providing staffing and operations of ambulance service between the City of Franklin and Bargersville Community Fire Protection District. City Attorney Lynn Gray.
Thank you, Mayor. As you are aware, I was approached by Chief Snyder and by Assistant Chief or Deputy Chief Preston probably 2 or 3 months ago. And they were looking to make a change with regard to our ambulance service. Currently, we are working with SEALs, and essentially under our ambulance service, we are under an interlocal agreement. Well, actually, the one with SEALs has expired, but we have an agreement, and they provide the ambulance service under our direction, but all billing and all charges and things go through SEALs. And under this proposal, it would go through Bargersville. And the chief, and I think working with the mayor's office, was looking to make a change with regard to that. Bargersville is willing to take on the responsibility beginning in July of this year. It was the belief of the administration and the fire department that what we could probably do is get some better billing for our citizens in terms of billing rates and collections and those kinds of things. So what you have before you is a proposed agreement. It has already been submitted to Bargersville, and Bargersville has accepted it, and they've actually signed on it. And so all it needs is your consideration and your determination if you want to go in this direction. I'll then turn it over to Preston's done a lot of work on it, the mayor's office has done a lot of work on it, but the actual draft agreement, including the exhibit I prepared, the exhibit outlines the scope of services, what we have. One of the things that is generally a question related to this is the various governmental agencies have entered into an agreement amongst all, because they use a common 911 service from the county level, and they enter into agreements that if they need mutual aid assistance back and forth, they do that. So one of the questions that we had was, if there's 2 dedicated ambulance services here, there's a problem outside the county that takes those away, then by mutual aid and agreement, we can reach out to some of the other counties. They do it now anyway. So that was one of the questions that I had, just generally speaking, not being familiar with how the process is. That's addressed in here, and it's basically run by the countywide 911 system. So with that, I'll be quiet and turn it over to either Preston or the mayor.
Go ahead, Preston.
Thank you, Ms. Gray. like Lynn said, we've been looking at this for a little while, trying to come up with ways to streamline our EMS service. We have a great working relationship with SEALS now. That wasn't the case in the past with previous administration. But now, the difference with SEALS and us is there are some protocols that we can do that they can't do. We are blessed with a medical director in the county through JMH that is very progressive and aggressive. That allows us to do some pretty intense skills out in the field as an extension of him. So if we do those skills, which there's about 8 or 9 of them, SEALs cannot, they can transport those, but they need our paramedics to go with them because they don't have the medical clearance to treat those patients on that call. So that in turn, if we do that, in turns makes one of our trucks possibly go out of service for a little bit until that provider is back in the city or back from the hospital. Like Lynn hit on too, we're looking at cheaper billing rates. SEALS has a pretty extensive, pretty high rate on billing, as we've heard in this chambers here multiple times from citizens. Looking about, and like I said, each service sets their own rate. We're looking about half of the cost on billing right off of the top on what an EMS call versus SEALS in Bargersville. And like I said, if you have any other questions, I can answer them.
Thank you for pointing that out, Preston, because I know that you'll remember, we were approached by some citizens a year ago, maybe, is probably when we started looking into it, by the rates being as high as they were, and concerns about that. And I think, in fact, there was even some proposed legislation that got introduced but never got passed. So that was one of the things that also prompted us to looking into it. Certainly nothing, as I look at these folks here, nothing in terms of the relationship of the people we've had, been very, very good people, but just a better service for our customers, if you will, our citizens.
So is this in addition to SEALs or?
No, it will be replacing SEALs.
Okay.
That's
And
correct.
you said that the SEALs agreement had already expired?
Yes, it had. Yeah.
So will there be a lapse?
No, there will not, not unless they leave. But yeah, the SEALs agreement, the memorandum has never been, I know you're shaking your head, but I had reached out numerous times and never got a response back to start it over again for another term. And so we are now operating just on a handshake, I guess.
Okay.
But it's operating nonetheless.
One other question. So if they're based out of Bargersville, will there be a delay?
No, there will be dedicated, it is the Bargersville Fire Department, but it will be dedicated ambulances here,
Okay.
housed, just as they are now with SEALs.
Okay.
Thank you for asking that. Yeah, they will be housed here and will be dedicated ambulances for here.
Perfect.
Right.
All right.
Okay, and they're not, they are local. I mean, one reason I got to looking at this part of it really hard is I had the meeting with Chief Funkhauser and actually a representative from the hospital that they had been working on a plan with JMH to streamline some of this stuff for our customers. And the biggest selling point for me was the billing rates and listening for the last several years on the cost of what ambulance rides should be. And during the time we're having these discussions, somebody, lo and behold, put on Facebook, my favorite place to get information. The next time that he has a heart issue, he's gonna walk to the hospital because he can't afford the ambulance ride. So just wanted to get that out there. That really got me thinking about it. So, and again, SEALs has been great. You guys, there's no issues with your knowledge and your ability to do your job. You're great and no issues there. It's just something I feel like that we need to go a different route just for our residents is a big part of that. So.
And Tina, I wanted to follow up on what you had asked in terms of will there be a gap in service. I hope not. Even under the agreement that we previously had with SEALs, if it was in full force and effect, it could be terminated with 90 days, with or without cause.
Okay.
So it is my hope that depending on what you do, I will immediately give notice pursuant to the terms of that agreement, as if we were operating under that agreement.
Okay.
I did reach out to the attorney for Bargersville also and said, I don't think this will occur, but in the event that that SEALs were deciding they needed to leave earlier than that. Could Bargersville help us? And they indicated they would.
Okay, great.
But my hope is that won't happen so that SEALs can continue.
And I did, I think, talk to your boss, Tony.
Yes, sir. Can I speak tonight?
You can speak, yeah, go ahead, but I think we got to vote, but I'm pushing pretty hard to do this, but you can speak, go ahead.
Got some prepared comments, and then I'll try to address a couple of things. But good evening, Mayor Barnett, members of the Public Works and Safety Board, really to the citizens of the city of Franklin. My name's Charlie Caulfield. I am the Vice President of Operations for SEALS Ambulance. I am here local. Really just wanted to open up by saying thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak this evening on behalf of our team, SEALS Ambulance Service. I would also like to begin my remarks this evening by saying thank you to the city's leadership, our partners at the Franklin Fire Department, our partners at Johnson Memorial Hospital, and really to the residents of the city who have allowed us to serve your community. Our team has had a tremendous amount of gratitude being entrusted to provide emergency medical services to this community for over 16 years. Many of our team members have been here for the majority of those 16 years. We have a lot of tenure. And the possibility of that service coming to an end is a reality that is very hard to accept for our team. Through our partnership over the past decade and a half, the citizens of the city of Franklin have had priority access to really our entire team, which is 275 team members strong. That includes over 40 paramedics. Aside from a few episodic moments related to maintenance and/or personal team member emergencies, we have not had an open shift or shutdown shift in recent memory. With access to over 45 ambulances in our fleet, this system has not experienced a shutdown secondary to mechanical issues or accidents in recent memory either. The city of Franklin has also benefited from national expertise in EMS logistics, and as you've mentioned, revenue recovery, and I'll come back to that a little bit, since this has started. Perhaps the most beneficial aspect as we see it for this system, our team has proudly served and provided this service at no cost to the residents of the city of Franklin other than the users. This EMS system has been totally unsubsidized since its inception. Our team is proud of this fact, and we sincerely hope that any system design proposed moving forward is able to remain funded through user fees and third-party payers for the next 16 years. Our team would love to find a way to continue our partnership and still contribute to the city of Franklin's emergency response system. Over a year and a half ago, in August of 2024, our team added a third paramedic unit, staffed 24 hours a day at Station 21, enabling the city to have 3 fully staffed and dedicated 911 response ambulances within the city of Franklin. This was provided at no cost to the city based on rising call volume and need. It is our understanding
I'll
that...
stop you there, sir.
Yeah.
No, that's not the facts. The facts we got the third one was because Greenwood had switched carriers, and you needed a place for your third one to go. Just now, carry on. I just wanted to just clarify that. So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we did add it here to the city, and it's been in the city for the last year and a half, providing service out of Station 21. We understand that the current proposal that's being contemplated would reduce that to 2, with units being placed at Station 22 and 23. We would like to offer to keep the unit we have at Station 21 at 21, again, at no cost to the city, as we have for the last year and a half. Our team would love to bridge this gap. We're also open to discussing any other ways we could improve our service while continuing to serve the city of Franklin. That would include taking all the full-time and regular part-time staff we have here in Franklin. We can transfer them to Johnson Memorial's medical direction. I don't think I was under the impression that that was such an issue to cause changing services, but we're certainly open to that. We would also, if Bargersville is staffing 22 and 23 and we could staff 21, we would look at what their gross charges are, and we could probably match their rates. Just a note on that, we want to make sure we're getting every insurance payment that is available from the citizens. And so that is why our charges are probably higher than Bargersville. So some people will have a primary and 2 secondaries. The charges are structured such that we can take advantage of that. so that insurance products are really funding the service and not the citizens, certainly not city government. So, in conclusion, again, want to thank you guys for the partnership and the opportunity to serve the city. Please rest assured, to Ms. Lynn's point, whatever decision is made moving forward, our team is going to continue to provide high-quality service and ensure a smooth transition to any other provider. Aside from that, the contract I have was signed, I think, in '21 for an initial 3-year term. And then as I understood the wording of the contract, it automatically rolled for another 3 years unless either party said they didn't want it to roll. So with that being said, the contract I have in my files and what I've been going off of is good until August 16th of 2027. Regardless, we're operating and we're of the mindset that we're under agreement and contract. And again, we'll stay as long as you need us. If Bargersville has trouble spooling up, we'll stay till August, September, October, whatever it takes. If they're ready to go next month, we can shut down next month. So we don't want you guys to be worried that the citizens may go without. I thought I was on a timer. Time to sit down or what? But
Our next policy is a taser. You gotta look out for it.
so I don't, yeah. And I will tell you, yes, we exited Greenwood, but I myself personally and my leadership team, we were there at their station until midnight at the changing of the guard. I personally handed the last radio to their new provider. I will do the same thing here. So
Thank you, sir.
we will not leave the citizens of Franklin in a lurch after 16-plus years of service. That's just not who we are. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions. Other than that, again, I just want to end on thank you guys, thank the fire department. So we really do appreciate the opportunity to serve your citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, and I just want to clarify one more thing that was said, that charge the city to pay for it. It's the same as you with your contract. The city is not going to fund it. It'll be the users that's going to fund it at a cheaper rate. So that's it. But again, I'm going to just say that SEALS has been a great partner and appreciate everything you've done for our citizens. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Okay, so I think we need to, any more questions?
I assume that proposal would be outside of the approval of the Bargersville agreement.
If we have a Bargersville agreement, that will be all the service we will need.
Okay,
That's correct.
okay.
Right.
I make a motion to approve the agreement providing staffing and operation of ambulance service between the City of Franklin and Bargersville Community Fire Protection District as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next item, retire service weapon for Rich Whitaker. Chief Cochran.
Yep, thank you, Mayor. This is just something we do for all of our retirees and under our rules and regs. Rich is retiring in a few weeks after 26 years, and so we want to relinquish that weapon, excuse me, and retire that weapon also. It is a Gen 5 Glock 17, serial numbers listed. And Rich has signed one of these documents. If you so approve it, it's something that we do every time somebody retires.
And we also indicate the estimated value because there is a tax consequences. Correct, sir?
I make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item, approval of our new SOP 2.3 concerning TASER 10. Police Chief Kirby Cochran.
Thank you, Mayor. I would ask Lynn and Deputy Chief Summers if they have anything to add. He's taking care of most of this, but we were in a position where we were going to have to update our tasers. We're running on an old platform now, and due to lawsuits and other things, tasers stepped up and made some changes in reliability, accuracy, and different things like that, and less intrusive pronged probes, whatever you like to call them.
And just for clarification, not lawsuits with us. This is industry-wide.
Right.
And so, Chief, the department reached out to me. The material that is included, I asked for Scott to include because I found it very educational. and you're only being asked to approve the SOP, but I think if you read the material, you'll see why the SOP needs to be changed. The new tasers just simply aren't the same as the old tasers. I can tell you, I've asked for one, they will not give me one, so this is very, it's very defined as to who can use it, the type of training they have to go through, why the new tasers are better than the old tasers, so I ask for them to provide the training material, because I think it kind of exemplifies why we need a new SOP. Thank you for getting it to me ahead of time, so I could spend a lot of time learning about how tasers work.
Thank you for not giving her a taser. We usually meet like on a Thursday or
That's right.
Friday. I'm sure I would have been hesitant.
Chief, may I ask a question? It seems to me that these tasers that advance dramatically, that they can shoot 1, 2, 3, 4 projectiles, is that
This
correct?
one's 10,
10? Okay, so multiple,
5 feet, it's much more accurate, a little different probe.
up to 10.
It's basically, it is considered a firearm, actually. It's, they fire one probe per trigger pull, just like a normal firearm would.
Which is all regulated and scoped and looked at, the data, all of that, which is natural for this particular weapon.
Right, and it includes things the industry has determined, the certain types of persons you don't use a taser with, how long you use it. Obviously, it's a progressive type of thing. That's one of your last resorts, and it's certainly before you pull the weapon if you have to. So it's very deliberate in terms, and I think the training part is what's especially valuable to our officers.
I'll make a motion to approve the new standard operating procedure 2.3 concerning TASER 10.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next item, request approval and execution of Supplement 2 with USI Consultants Incorporated for the Forsyth Street Culvert Replacement Project. City Engineer Matt McElroy.
Thank you. Yeah, this is our culvert replacement project down on Forsyth Street. We had an original contract with USI for the design for $299,950. During the design, we did utility coordination. We determined that there were some utilities that needed to be relocated. So during that discovery, we kind of figured that we needed some additional help from USI to kind of do that utility coordination and also purchase right-of-way for those utilities to be relocated as part of the project. So that's where this supplement comes, and also included in it is we went ahead and added their inspection fees into the supplement. So there's a breakdown at the end of the supplement that kind of lays out what this entails as far as right-of-way staking, right-of-way engineering services, appraisals, anything that has to do with the purchasing of the right-of-way. And then you also see utility relocation oversight. So that's USI providing help during construction or prior to construction for that utility relocation work. And there you'll see the part-time construction inspection work. So all that included, they've got a not to exceed. So the supplement would be $206,000 even. So a total not to exceed of what you see there is $505,950.
Matt, can you add that the inspection fee initially was a little bit high, and we
Correct.
went back to the company to review it?
Correct. Originally, they had a fee for full-time inspection. I did my review and everything and decided I didn't think that was necessary, especially with my skill set as well, to kind of keep an eye on things when they couldn't be on site. So they came back and provided us a part-time fee that you see up there.
Thank you.
We might add on this one too, Matt, that this is a partnership with the county.
Correct.
When this all started, the county had the bridges,
Yeah.
and we were talking with the county about getting this done. Well, lo and behold, we get the bridges. And then we start down the path of doing the engineering, that sort of thing to make this happen. And now we're at the engineering. We've been doing this engineering for a couple of years now, trying to get there. There's a lot of DNR and a lot of stuff that you have to
Yeah.
go through with this one. However, now the county has the bridges. So we're back to, we're partnering on this where
Yeah.
the county will pay for the bridge and since we already started down this path, we're taking care of this part of it, so.
Correct, yeah, we took care of all the design, utility coordination right away now. So, yeah, it was just felt best to continue with us finishing out the design the best way we could and providing the inspection, of course, since they had a lot of experience with the design phase. So in my opinion, sometimes it's best to stay with the same firm that designed your project because they know the plans the best, so.
Matt, can you give a time frame and how long is Forsyth's going to be shut down?
I think it was 3 to 4 months, basically. I mean, all it is replacing the two steel culverts that you see out there and putting in concrete boxes. So I don't foresee it taking any longer than that, so.
And
So
we're not
that's-
sure it's gonna happen this year, are we?
No, if anything, it would start in the winter, so maybe December, January, because it is a good winter project. So it would start over the winter time, yeah.
Traffic's going to go downtown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, our detour route was to use Eastview. I understand people are gonna see that and go different directions, but can't necessarily plan for all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How will we fund the supplemental 2? Are we going to have to take away from another project to cover this increase, or do we have the budget to cover it already?
We have it in the budget to cover.
Okay.
This one can actually come out of two different places. It could come out of the Board of Works, or it could come out of the stormwater budget, either one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I will make a motion to approve and execute supplemental 2 with USI Consultants Incorporated for the Forsyth Street Culvert Replacement Project.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Matt. And Matt's up next. Request acceptance of the bids for the 2026 Maintenance Improvement Program, asphalt milling, patching, resurfacing project. Request award of construction contract to DC Construction Services Incorporated as the lowest, most responsive, and responsible bidder, and request execution of the construction agreement. City Engineer Matt McElroy.
Thank you. This is our annual paving program, and I'll go ahead and start out by saying that originally we didn't, this was part of the 2026 CCMG funding. Obviously, we were initially didn't get the funding from the state, but as we all know, the legislative session earlier this year provided with 75 million additional in funding. So we went ahead and decided the bid project, reach out to NDOT, and we successfully got money to do this project in partnership with NDOT and their CCMG program.
Matt, that's to the tune of $975,000.
Correct, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a 50-50 split funding.
I noticed your engineer's estimate is at 2.5 million,
Yeah,
so much cheaper cost from DC. And any explanation why, you think?
I think it's really competitive out there with.
Looks like it, with
with
7 contractors out there bidding it.
Yeah, I think, and this is just my opinion, is that the lack of funding initially in the original CCMG thing, a lot of contractors were counting on that work and didn't get it.
Yeah.
So now with the additional funding, a lot of these contractors are bidding competitively to get the job so they can fill their schedule for the year.
Fair enough, thank you.
So I'm going to comment on this one too. I've got a lot of comments tonight, right? So this one here, I'll just be real honest with you. I was a little bit kind of nervous about this one, and we had used DC Construction 2021. It wasn't a very good experience. We had to make them come back and fix some stuff, which they did fix, but it just wasn't the same. You can see the patches and all that. However, that was in 2021, so I'm telling Matt does his due diligence and starts calling around since 2021. I guess there was some other people at that time frame, some other communities had some issues. They got rid of their staff, and since 2022, they've been doing some community crossing work, and it seems that everybody's been happy. Is that
Yeah, actually, there's six communities that I reached out to. 4 responded, and all of them gave me confirmation that DC has changed their ways. They've done a lot of good work for them, and a few of them even said that they will continue to work in their communities. So with hearing that, I felt a little bit more confident after hearing about the 2021 project. So 4 out of 6 is a good number, especially hearing from them at least. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of keeping an eye on them to make sure that that standard of work is still kept.
Yeah, it's a lot of streets.
Yeah, actually, I've got 36 road segments and approximately about 5.3 miles worth of roadway to pave, so, yeah.
It's a lot of work.
And with that being said, we've also talked to Matt, talked to reach out to Crossroad that I see here is here. And we did this one other time, whenever we had a contractor that I was a little bit skeptical of, that we hired an outside firm to do the inspection. And we will check on that if the pricing, because we are so far below the estimate that we may go ahead and hire an inspector. We're still thinking about or talking about that one.
Correct.
Not a bad idea.
Well, with all that, I can go ahead and, I know everybody loves me reading through all the numbers, so I'll go ahead and officially read the bid tabs. So we opened bids 2 p.m. March 6th. We had 7 bids. All-Star Paving Inc., $2,073,712. Grady Brothers Inc., $2,595,960. Milestone Contractors, $2,046,803.65. Dave O'Meara Contractor Inc., $1,944,798.38. DC Construction Services Inc., $1,821,919.42. Howard Asphalt, Howard Companies, $1,911,342.45, and Reith Riley Construction Company Inc. at $2,256,562.66. So, with everything said, the request is there that DC Construction Services be awarded the contract and acceptance of the bids as the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder, and also requesting the execution of the construction agreement.
Thanks, Matt.
I'll make a motion to accept the bids for the 2026 Maintenance Improvement Program, asphalt milling, patching, and resurfacing project, approving the award of the construction contract for an amount of $1,821,919.42 to DC Construction Services Incorporated as the lowest, most responsible and responsive and responsible bidder, and also approve the execution of the construction agreement.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you on that one, Matt. Okay, we'll go on to the next item, request approval of customer order form with Ballistics Assess Management Software for a 3-year term, and request the mayor to sign on behalf of the board. City Engineer Matt McElroy.
Thank you. I actually have Violytics representative here, so if he needs to answer any questions that I can't, feel free to ask. His name's Slater Rush. But anyways, what this is each year we are required by LOTIP to do our asset management program, which is doing Payzer scores on roadways. So we were approached with this new AI software where we can initially take a phone, put it in the dashboard of our cars, say street department, DPW, as they drive around the city, and the AI software will actually pick up the roads, be able to rate our roadways basically with the AI software. And we're seeing a lot of that new technology be utilized. What it also provides is asset management for us to gather street sign information or any kind of other infrastructure that we may want. And it's good that we can do it all in-house, basically. So we can use our own staff that's already driving the roadways or out there monitoring, say storm sewers or sanitary sewers. So I felt like this was a good program for us to use. And obviously, when we came back with the price, it was a 3-year term at a set rate, as you can see there. It's actually a one-time service fee, so that's onboarding, training, and also the phone packages. So we also, Violytics uses, correct me if I'm wrong, Violytics hands out the cell phones to the communities that actually has the apps and software on the phones that we can utilize. So that's the one-time fee. And then the recurring services are the $27,000 per year for us to have the computer program that we can upload the GIS software. We can use it for, the asset management plan. We can use it for even work orders with the street department, from what I've heard. So it seems like a great tool for us to try out and move forward with. So if there's any additional questions, I'll try to answer. If not, I'll.
And I would just point out to the board, you don't have a professional services agreement, because this is essentially a software license, is what we're getting. There's some additional, training, as there is with any contract that Rick sends to my office to review, but it's essentially we're getting the software, and the services are going to come from our own employees in-house.
So Matt, this will kind of dictate your projects each year for pavement replacement and repair.
So yeah, basically the Paiser scores that we typically get each year, this will do the same thing, but like I said, allow our street department or anybody else on staff to record those. And I've also, again, correct me if I'm wrong, you can actually export all the information into the required LTAP asset management Excel sheets that we have to submit to them every year. So yeah, and then we also utilize that for our, our paving program, our crack sealing program, all that. Yeah.
And Matt, you told me there's some other stuff that you were wanting to, like culverts and the signs and sidewalks even. There's a bunch of stuff that can be added real easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get to that point. We also hired a GIS specialist so we can start importing all the data that we get from this GIS software, so we can have curb ramps or signs that are picked up on the AI software, because it takes a picture constantly as you're driving down the road, similar to what Street View is. And in those pictures, they'll snap the signs that are in the picture, the cracks, or whatever the pavement condition looks like. They can see storm sewers. So any kind of infrastructure can be mapped. I think we just have to tell the software what we want it to map, correct?
Yeah, and then just using this mobile app as well, you can map any other asset within the city as well.
And additionally, as you know, we have to provide an ADA report each year in order to keep compliant with our funding requirements, and that will be helpful to be able to show that we are doing these kinds of reviews.
Matt, can you tell me how long this software has been available to the public?
Oh, that's a good question. It's only been recently, within the last year or so, right?
So we've been a company since 2018.
Okay, so everyone.
And then actively in Indiana, we've been servicing clients for about 3.5 years now. So we have about 30 or so counties in Indiana alone utilizing us, probably a similar amount of cities and towns as well.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the customer order form with Violytics Asset Management Software for a 3-year term, and also approve the mayor to sign on the board's behalf.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Next item, approval and acceptance of public right-of-way for Earlywood Drive, 2100 Earlywood Drive. Planning Director Joanna Tennell.
Good evening. So anytime that we have a site development plan that comes through with a project for either a new project or an addition or site modifications, part of the process is also looking at the existing right-of-way. Our zoning ordinance does state that if we do not currently have the required distance and amount of right-of-way, that is part of that approval. So Jack Loggle's building there at 2100 Earlywood Drive, he's proposing to do a building addition on the southeast corner of that structure. So this is the dedicated right-of-way that corresponds with that project.
Okay, any questions?
I don't have any. I'll make a motion to approve an acceptance of the public right-of-way at Earlywood Drive, 2100 Earlywood Drive for the Laurel property, as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Next item, transfer 2016 PJ trailer F8222, VIN number 4P5F82224G1244242 from MVH to DPW. Second, transfer 2014 Dodge Ram 2500, VIN number 3C6L R5AT2EG192055 from MVH to Cemetery. And Fleet Manager, Street Commissioner, you are welcome for me reading that.
I
Brad
appreciate
Jones.
that. I was going to say, I couldn't have said that better myself. This is just exactly what it says. Obviously, in our continued effort to be as efficient as we can with fleet equipment and vehicles, we're moving a trailer from MVH to DPW that they have more use for. And then obviously doing the same thing with this Dodge truck. We're going to send it to the cemetery for the rest of its useful life.
Motion to approve transfers as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. Okay, next item. Damn eyes are getting bad in the late of the day. Request board consideration, approval, and execution of utility reimbursement agreement with Duke Energy on Graham Road reconstruction project. City Engineer Matt McElroy.
Thank you. As you know, we're currently in the design, about to bid this project, actually. This is the reconstruction of Graham Road. So part of that comes with utility relocation. And of course, Duke Energy has poles all along the east side and then transfers over to the west side near Paul Hand Boulevard. A section of that relocation work that they're planning on doing is in a approximate 2,600 foot stretch along a parcel on the east side that they currently have an easement rights to. So with that, the relocation work would then require a reimbursement agreement with Duke Energy to have Duke Energy relocate those poles as a part of or to help construct the project. So that's what this agreement is. I noticed that the actual reimbursement agreement didn't make it in there. I kind of did this in a hurry to get it onto the board's agenda, but it's their standard agreement, or that we see with any kind of utility reimbursement agreement. And I shot this to Lynn to have a review, make sure it was good, and I think everything checks out. So what they're asking for that 2,600 feet of work, and also they will be relocating to a new easement that we are actually working with the homeowner that will then be reverted back to Duke's 15-foot easement along that side of the road. So with all that, and the agreement comes out to be about $197,000, or $197,510.30 for that entire stretch. Most of that is above ground work, so it's relocating poles. I had a chance to review it. I think Crossroads, that's doing a lot of our right-of-way purchasing, has reviewed it, and everybody's in agreement with the cost that they provided, the breakdown that they had. So,
And
yeah.
Matt did provide me with a copy of the agreement. As you all know, if a utility is located in our right-of-way, then we can require them to relocate without cost. But this is not that situation. We don't have right-of-way out there. They are already in their own privately owned easement. And so in order for us to get them to move to a different easement, working with them, we have to pay those relocation costs, and that's pretty standard in the industry. That's why we like to put utilities in our right-of-way if we can, but there are certain projects that it's just simply not possible, particularly when you're outside.
Yeah, I will say a lot of this stemmed from our shifting the roadway because of the legal drain that goes along Graham Road there. We wanted to get the road away from there, which ultimately pushed that into the poles along the east side of the road, so.
Correct. That's why it costs here, built into the project when we thought about it. I mean, that was something we knew ahead of time.
Correct.
So once this is done, the utilities will be in our right-of-way?
No, they will be in another easement because we don't have right-of-way that will be adequate to be able to put the poles in.
Okay.
But it'll be an easement realigned differently.
Okay.
Right, and hopefully left there in perpetuity.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, if we allowed them to go after their own, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, to get their new easement, it would have taken Duke a year or more to get that. So it would have held up our construction. So with allowing Crossroads and our right-of-way team to do that paperwork for Duke Energy, we were able to move it along a lot quicker.
I'll make a motion for board consideration, approval, and execution of utility reimbursement agreement with Duke Energy on the Graham Road reconstruction project.
Second.
Okay, we have a second and we have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Matt. Okay, next item, I will make a motion to approve the unkept property liens as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, we do have time for department reports. Chip, we'll start with you.
I did discuss at the department head meeting today about the recreation center roof is having some issues leaking from all the snow, the ice that stood on it for what seemed like a month. We did have it looked at today. We had it scheduled, not because of the wind over the weekend, because we already had it scheduled and lost 50 shingles just yesterday. So we're having all that work done, but since I mentioned it today, I was going to mention it here so you guys knew. We are doing a lot of park cleanup from flooding, speak of weather. That's going on right now, so bear with us if it doesn't look the greatest in the world. We're trying to get it back to where it was. Just for fun facts, the pool will be full in 5 weeks. That's all I had.
Thanks, Chip. Chief Cochran?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things. The first one being that tonight we'll be swearing in Captain Jeff Dahl, who's been a huge asset to the department, and we're excited to get him going, get on board. We made a few changes internally. It should make it a little more efficient for us and provide a good culture in your direction that you'd like to see us go. So Jeff's going to be a good fit for that. And I will say, we were blessed with some Chick-fil-A sandwiches today, so get out Wednesday and grab some up.
Thank you, Chief. Deputy Chief Stark?
Nothing else, sir.
Carrie?
The construction fencing is up out at 800 South State Street, the new Utility Services Admin Building, so dirt has been moving.
So I'm pretty excited for Sherry to be able to give a report. If you guys come all the time, you know Sherry usually, she does the billing office. I have nothing to report. Well, this is her billing building, and she's going to be stationed there, the head of it. So you have something to report every time now.
There you go.
Yeah, they put in 2 blocks this time, right? Thank you, Sherry.
Thanks.
Rick?
I don't have anything for you tonight, sir.
Dana?
Nothing tonight, sir.
Britt?
Just real quick, request from Green Sign came in this morning to block off 2 spaces Wednesday from 8 to 10 to work on the mutual savings bank sign. So just basically make you aware, if you want to approve it, that's great. We've already posted it, so we'll meet all of the legal posting requirements, but if you want to
I
take
would make a
official
motion
action,
to approve as Brett has presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And other than that, I just can't wait to see Les walking around town with a Violytics phone on his head. Get some really good footage that way, Les, so appreciate you.
Joanna?
As Matt had mentioned, we did hire a GIS coordinator, and he will be joining our team as of next Monday. So we're pretty excited about that.
Okay, thank you. Sally?
We're still under construction, obviously. They didn't do much last week due to the heavy rains. We managed well, though, under the heavy rains. We had a couple lift station problems, but we managed, so that's it.
Okay, thank you, Sally. Jan?
Thank you.
Tara? Tina?
No, thank you.
Ken?
Nothing, Mayor.
Lynn?
I think it's only appropriate, since I talked nothing but trash during football season, that I appropriately give my kudos to the West End. Congratulations on the Big Ten tournament.
All right. I don't have anything to say, so I would make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.